Hey everybody, welcome back to the Print 3D channel. Today's March 29th, and that means day 88 of the 3DP 365 project. And on today's episode, we continue printing out parts for that OpenRCF1 project, so stick around. Hey everybody, welcome back, and thank you for joining me here for day 88 of the 3DP 365 project as we continue to print out the OpenRCF1 project. If you want to get caught up on where we are in the prints, check out this cool playlist I created that'll get you all caught up on everything we've done so far. But for today's episode, we printed out a couple of small parts for the OpenRCF1 project, and our parts turned out pretty good. So let's head over to Thingiverse and I'll show you what we've decided to print. Then we'll tab over to Simplify 3D and I'll show you my settings for the prints. Then we'll meet back here at the workbench and we'll talk about those prints. All right, folks, here we are at Thingiverse. Here is the OpenRCF1 2017, and I'll put the link down in the description as always so you can download and print these yourself. And I hope you guys are keeping up and printing the same parts or some of the same parts with me and joining along in the build. Today's print, we printed out the diffuser and rain light. It's a multiple use piece in the back here. And we ran multiple processes on this because there's some seriously small detail on here. The other thing we ran out was the wheel axle holder left and right, But back onto the rain diffuser, the rain light and diffuser. We had to do multiple processes on this, so let's tab over to Simplify 3D and I'll show you what I set up. Okay, so here we are in Simplify 3D and I've got my factory file open, and as you can see I've got multiple processes set up. And the reason why I'm doing this is I ran this out once and it didn't turn out so great. And I didn't let it finish because I made a mistake and didn't put any top layers on my first process, so this area down here became open. But either way, I want to try and capture all this detail up here. So my first process, it's basically down to layer speed and layer height. We ran this out at 40 millimeters per second with our standard 0.2 millimeter layer height with 3 top, 3 bottom, and 3 perimeters. And our infill on here is 20%, and that's the first process. In the second and this is set to stop printing under advanced here at 12.4 millimeters, and that's where I calculated where I wanted to stop printing this particular set of settings and move on to the next set of settings. So if we hit OK and we double click on the secondary process, this one will pick up at 12.4 millimeters, and we're going to drop down to a 0.16 millimeter layer height. And we're going to do 4 top layers and no bottom layers because this is a secondary process. And for infill, we're keeping it at 20%. But we slowed this down to 25 millimeters per second in hopes of capturing all that detail at the top. So if we hit prepare to print and we do select all, make sure continuous printing layer by layer is set up and hit OK, this is what I'm talking about. These little tiny they're actually lights on the actual car. But on here, they are so small, and I have a 0.5 millimeter nozzle. I don't think these are going to turn out well. So what I did was I added a secondary process, and you can actually see where the secondary process starts. And then I slowed down the printer and went down to a 0.16 millimeter layer height, hoping to capture this stuff. So that's that part. And then we ran out the axles. So which is the left and right of the wheel axle holder. And these pieces were easy prints. I'll show you my process settings. It's pretty straightforward. 0.2 millimeter layer height, 3 top, 3 bottom, 3 perimeters. We also ran a brim at 0 and the skirt offset at 4 outlines, 20% infill, no support, 208 the temperature since this is MatterHackers PRO PLA, my 3-stage cooling, and under speed we ran this out at 45 millimeters per second. And if I hit prepare to print, you can see this is a super easy print. There's only 51 layers. So let's head over back to the workbench and let's talk about our prints. Alright, so you saw my settings in Simplify 3D, and let's talk about the rain light diffuser. And here is our print. And as you can see, the little lights didn't turn out so great, but the rest of the model looks awesome. I'm really happy with the results. And we did multiple processes hoping to capture all this little bit of detail of these little lights. And it didn't really work out so great, but I'm not upset about it. I'm not going to reprint it. I did print it once, and I have to show you this because mistakes happen. And I forgot to put top layers in my first process, so we didn't get any top layers and our infill was exposed, so I canceled the print. But either way, this print turned out pretty good. Now I believe it's because I have a 0.5 millimeter nozzle. If I had a smaller nozzle, I am for sure thinking that these lights would have turned out perfect, but instead we have a bit of a muddy mess. The other parts we printed out were these axle holders, and we printed these out at the same time. And these guys came out perfect. There are no problems with these at all. I did randomize my start points for optimum printing. So there is a little bit of a seam in the inside of this hub area here that I'll definitely have to shave out with the rotary tool. And it's the same on both of them. There's a little bit of a seam there that I'm gonna have to shave out. But that's okay, I don't mind. The rest of the print looks really, really good, and I'm really happy with the results. And I really love this MatterHackers Pro PLA in the color of gray. This was the perfect choice for our accessories and our chassis and all the other parts that we didn't print out in pearl blue. And of course, my gMax did an amazing job of picking up all the detail, all the little nut holes and screw holes. Those all turned out perfect. All my layer lines are really clean. Everything about these parts is perfect. So before we wrap up for today, I'm kind of curious who else is also printing the OpenRCF1 project along with us here on the Print 3D channel. So if you guys can tweet or Instagram or post up on social media somewhere that you're printing the OpenRCF1 project along with the Print 3D channel, that would be awesome. And you can use the hashtags OpenRC and hashtag Print 3D channel. And I'll be watching for your posts, and I'll definitely retweet them and repost them and all that other fun social media stuff. And I'm sure you've noticed by now, I've got some pretty awesome swag on. Daniel was cool enough to make some really awesome OpenRC 3D printing shirts, and I got myself one in purple. Well, that about wraps it up for day 88 of the 3DP 365 project. I hope you guys are joining along in the build and building your own OpenRCF1 project. And if you are, don't forget to post them up on social media with those hashtags OpenRC and Print 3D channel. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, comment, like, and share those videos, and I'll see you tomorrow.